Welcome to Rio Tinto Stadium, where you are about to watch the 5A Girls State Soccer Championship between the Brighton Bengals and the Viewmont Vikings. Happy to be with you here this evening. I'm Landon Hemsley, DesertNews.com web sports producer, and I'm coming to you live this evening from Sandy. Tonight we have the Viewmont Vikings, who have done very well so far in this postseason. Obviously, they've made it to the championship game. They've won games in overtime. They've had a blowout, and they've had a very, very close matchup in the semifinals over Lone Peak that earned them a trip here. As for Brighton, it's been all offense all the time. And the star for the Brighton Bengals has to be number 20, right up there at the top, Nadia Gomes. Portuguese international player, plays for the U19 Portuguese national team. Took a chunk out of her season to head across the Atlantic Ocean and play for Portugal, and she has returned to help this Brighton team play for this championship. And they have absolutely steamrolled every team they have played. They beat West 6-0. They beat Davis 4-0. And they beat Fremont 5-0. In a game of two very, very, very good teams. So we're just about ready to kick it off. It's 7 o'clock straight up. So you know a little bit about the rules of high school soccer. If you don't watch Utah girls high school soccer very often, there are two halves, each 40 minutes long, and the clock counts down from 40 to 0. Clock stops when there is stoppage time, of course. It's of course different than how it is professionally, where the clock continues to run and the official will keep track of that time and determine when the game is over, when the match is over. As for these two teams, spoke a little bit about Gomes. Let's talk about each team's record a little bit. Brighton has lost a total of 2 games on the year. They've drawn 1 game, and they have won every other game, and a lot of them have not been close. The most goals they have allowed in a single match this season is 2. Once in a loss and once in a tie, or actually twice in a loss and twice in a tie. They lost 2-0 against Alta, September 19th. They lost 2-0 or 2-1 against Maple Mountain in the first match of the season, and they lost and they drew against Alta 2-2 right before the playoffs began on October 10th. But they have won a whole lot of games, and Nadia Gomes is stepping over the ball to kick this one off here, as Brighton will go right to left as you see it, and as I call it, and Viewmont going left to right. Viewmont in the blue jerseys with the white shorts and blue socks. Viewmont in the all whites with red trim and numbers, and here we are about to start it off. And here we go. This 5A championship match is underway. A little bit about Viewmont, what they've done so far this year. They have only lost twice, once to Fremont and once to Brighton, their opponent this evening. They lost to Brighton on August 20th, 4-1. Obviously, it was something of a lopsided win for Brighton in August. Viewmont looking to avenge themselves. They've gone back over the tape from that game and come to this game hoping to make things a little bit different here. They have a tall task ahead with this offensive juggernaut of Brighton. It's outscored their opponents 15-0 so far, and that ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Viewmont here on the near side touchline. It's about 10 yards up from midfield. Of course, we're at the home of Real Salt Lake, Rio Tinto Stadium in Sandy. Real Salt Lake, one of the premier teams in Major League Soccer. That shot by Abby Flandreau, who is the team's leading goal scorer on the year. Throughout the broadcast today, we're going to check in with coaches, talk about different aspects of the game. Had an opportunity to sit down with both coaches before the match started and talk to them a little bit, and have that opportunity to talk to them and hear what they think about this match and about the factors coming into it, so that'll be fun. Let me introduce myself, since I don't think I did that properly. I'm Landon Hemsley, DesertNews.com web sports producer, and whether you're watching on KSL.com or DesertNews.com, I'm glad you're with me here this evening to watch the soccer match between two very, very good girls' high school soccer teams. Brighton is swinging it outside, far on the touchline. There's a cross in to Nadia Gomes. That's Gomes. Keep an eye on her throughout this match. And Brighton plays it centrally. It's Libby Dearden on the ball right now. Viewmont clears it away. We're in the third minute of the game, and Viewmont on the attack. Can't quite get to it. It'll be a throw-in for the Vikings. Of course, Viewmont High School, located in Bountiful, Utah. However, a lot of the students at Viewmont come from both Centerville and Bountiful. And those students in Centerville who don't go to Viewmont, whether they go to Bountiful, Woods Cross, or Davis High School. But most of Centerville, I would say, enrolls in Viewmont High School. And then, of course, Brighton High School, located in Cottonwood Heights, in the Salt Lake Valley. Not 5 miles from this location. Ball's in a dangerous position for Viewmont. Struggling to get an opportunity. Shot attempt there. Another shot attempt. It's up. Oh, it's over the bar. Over the bar. That was close. Caitlin Palmer, the goal scorer from the last match, trying to get on the score sheet early here. Dangerous moments for Brighton here in the 4th minute of the match. 3.5 minutes into this one, and Viewmont already with the best shot of the match so far. Best opportunity, anyways. I want to apologize in advance if I get any names wrong. If I mispronounce something or say it incorrectly, I apologize. It's going off the resources I have, and sometimes it's incomplete, which is frustrating, but we do the best we can, and hopefully you enjoy the broadcast anyways. Viewmont has done pretty well defensively so far in this postseason. They've allowed a total of 2 goals, both of which were in the quarterfinal match. And now Brighton with an opportunity going through. That was a great ball into space there. Terrific ball into space. Brighton had an opportunity to run onto it, but credit the Viewmont defense. They were there. So Jay Jones, who also scored in that 5-0 romping in the semifinals. Throw this in. Coming into the game is Ashley Christensen. Coming out, apparently with a small injury, is Libby Dearden. Ball goes up the pitch, and there'll be another Brighton throw-in. Throwing it in, Cami Jahan Bani. Some international players on this Brighton team. Of course, the most ostentatious of which is the Portuguese international and all-around super scorer, Nadia Gomes. It's Portuguese. Caitlin Mortensen on that far side trying to make something out of nothing, and ends up being a throw-in for Brighton. If you're watching this, I encourage you to comment and let us know where you're watching it from. And if you loaded the page before the scoreboard showed up in the left-hand side of the page, I encourage you to just reload the page really quickly and then return right back to us. Promise you won't miss much of anything. And Brighton with an opportunity. The ball's in behind. Flag stays down. Viewmont's goalkeeper comes up. And that might have been a penalty, but the official says no. Play on. That was a real opportunity there for Brighton. The senior goalkeeper, Haley Johnson, has done very well for the Vikings all year. Team leader. Able to pounce on that before it became something dangerous. Now Jahan Bani. Back to Jocelyn Loomis, who has scored quite a bit as well for the Brighton Bengals this year. Something of a playmaker for Brighton is Loomis. Back to Jones in the defensive position. Brighton looks to reset. Great shielding of the ball there. And good job by Jessica James of Viewmont getting all she could and more to get that ball away. Ooh, what a move by Gomes. Nice little heel flick step over with an opportunity. And then Brighton will reset things. Brighton seems to have seized a little bit of momentum here in the first half. High kick, but no harm, no foul. Step over, and Brighton retains possession. That's Steph Ringwood. Also another integral piece of this Brighton team in the midfield. Gomes touches that ball in space, looks to win it back, and can't quite get it. Loomis touches to Gomes. Gomes takes a shot from distance, deflected away, but Brighton retains possession. And that ball's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a Viewmont throw-in. So Viewmont's had the best chance so far. In the 3rd minute, here's Caitlin Palmer with the shot. In the 3rd minute, just went over the bar. Brighton has pretty well controlled the tempo and pace of this match ever since. Gemma Lee Tate here on the sidelines cheering her and giving direction to the Vikings. That ball's loose, played into space. Onto it. Sydney Myers, another integral piece of that midfield for Brighton. Now there, Bree Ruckert, that right back. Tries to get the ball to Gomes. Gomes comes back and steps out. We're going to have a substitution as Libby Dearden is going to come back into the match. As far as substitutions go, that's one aspect of the rules that I failed to mention in the beginning. There really are no substitution rules or restrictions. You can substitute in as many players as you want, as often as you want. Doesn't matter if they've been in the game before or if they have not, they can just come back in. It makes it very flexible, and it allows teams to allow more players to play, which is, I think, the purpose of high school sports. And Loomis on the back end, that ball headed back to Johnson, to Haley Johnson, the senior goalkeeper, playing in her final match. And what a way to go out. Rio Tinto Stadium, a professional soccer pitch. Good deflection, but Steph Ringwood steps on this ball. And Gomes giving chase. Jenna Wall also back there. Wall is named by Coach Emily Tate. Spoke with Coach Tate before the match, and she said that Wall is one of the more important defenders. There's an opportunity. Oh my goodness. Is that going to be a penalty kick? No. Official says fair challenge, play on. It's a couple times already that Brighton has had a player go down in the box and nothing's been called. So they stay that way, and now Viewmont on the attack and the counterattack. The ball's just going to be chipped back. It's dangerous. The keeper does well to just punt that one away. That's Tamron Braun, the senior goalkeeper for Brighton, puts that out of bounds. You know, with as much as Brighton has scored, oh no, there may be an opportunity. Viewmont retain possession. There's a shot. It's not on goal. That shot taken by Abby Flandreau, leading scorer for Viewmont thus far to this point in the season. We're into the 11th minute now. As I was saying, with as much as Brighton has scored in this postseason, sometimes high school coaches have to worry that their team might get a little bit arrogant. That's something that Coach Mark Stoker for Brighton has had to address as well with his team. And here's what he said: how he's been able to handle his team and keep them humble, but keep them also ambitious.
Soccer's a beautiful game, and it's a constant reminder of the best team doesn't always win. And the ball just bounces a certain way, and the game changes, whoever scores first, whatever it is. And we're just ready for as many scenarios as we can, and we come fighting.
Something of a team-oriented mindset for the Brighton Bengals, and they've done very, very well. Like I said, they've outscored their opponents in the playoffs 15-0, and they've only lost twice on the year and drawn once, so they have good reason to be confident in their abilities. They're a good team. There's a massive collision, and a foul going to be called against Viewmont. Jana Wall coming in strong on Sydney Myers, and that foul is going to go against Wall, and she might be disciplined here. The official had a talk with her and said no more of that. She's going to be allowed to continue, and Brighton will get a very juicy set piece here, about 20 yards out on the left-hand side, about 5 yards clear of the penalty, or 5 yards clear of the penalty area. Standing over the ball, Jay Jones. Eddie Gomez is on that far post. Jones, there's a service towards the goal, and that's no big deal for Haley Johnson. Johnson had a massive save in the final 5 minutes of that semifinal match against Lone Peak. Steph Ringwood with that header. One of the finest saves I've ever seen at the high school level. Good job by the Viewmont defender cutting that one off, and now it's Laura Wilcox the other way with the giveaway. Loomis sends it off to Jade Jones, back to Loomis. They're in the near side touchline. Loomis will try and get it forward. Nadia Gomes and Jana Wall having some extracurricular activities there. Complaints from the Brighton sideline. She got to think that Gomes might be trying to get Wall disciplined here. As she caught the official's eye early for that heavy tackle that happened a few moments ago. It's not something you want your best center back to do. Viewmont going forward. Nice little step there into space, but Steph Ringwood cuts that away and drops it back to the defense, and we reset back at midfield. That ball might go out of bounds. It's saved and stopped, and that's kept in bounds the near side touchline. Served back towards the Brighton defense. And Jones, Jade Jones, recovers, gets a touch, and that ball's sent back forward again. Substitution coming out of the game for Viewmont, Madison Mitamura. Let's see who came in. Still waiting. Substitution still taking place for Brighton. Raquel Watts coming in, and also Angie Tim. Coming out is Caitlin Mortensen and Cami Jahanbani. It's a throw in on the near side touchline for Brighton. We do have that live updating scoreboard. We will have live updates for any discipline that happens, in addition to any goals scored. Of course, DeseretNews.com, your home for high school sports all across the board. We do have a number of high school football games going on tonight. Game Night Live, game of the week. And here's Nadia Gomes. The goalkeeper just boots that one away. Brighton will try and regain possession. Nadia Gomes changes the game. When you have a player that has that much impact on your team, she changes how the defense plays, how the defense reacts, and maybe a little bit how they think. It's something of a mental edge, probably, for Brighton having Nadia Gomes on the field. See how Viewmont responds and if they can overcome the Portuguese international star. If you're just joining us, you're wondering why I said Portuguese internationals, because she plays for Portugal's U19 women's team. Great little step over there. Jade Jones retains the ball, and Loomis tries to cut it back to Jones, who's in the box, has Gomes on the far post, sends it in. And Haley Johnson dives to her post. That ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. Johnson, a very, very talented goalkeeper in her own right. Extremely talented. We're now in the 16th minute of play. 24:30 remaining in this match. Scoreless match so far. You're still with us from the earlier match we had between Timpanogos and Skyline. Hope you enjoyed that match. It was a great contest between Timpanogos and Skyline. Timpanogos coming away with a 1-0 win on a 41st minute goal by Katie Henderson. And a goal coming in the first 20 seconds of the second half. It was an unbelievably struck ball in danger zone and gave Timpanogos their state championship. So congratulations to the Timpanogos Timberwolves. That ball tipped away. Caitlin Palmer on her horse, can't quite get to it. And there's Steph Ringwood. She's so good with her feet. And she's also really good at that, distribution. This ball is going to be caught before it goes out of bounds. The Viewmont defense is there to usher it out of bounds, and that's going to be a foul against Brighton. It'll be a free kick on the far side corner for Viewmont. It's a pretty good contingency of both Brighton and Viewmont students here. The Brighton fans down here in the orange and blue on my right, and the Viewmont fans down in their maroon and gold on my left, behind their respective benches and their team support. It's always good to see people come out support high school athletes here in the state of Utah. They work so hard to succeed, and we love highlighting these student athletes who do so many good things on and off the field. Great little step through to Loomis. And that ball was deflected, or Loomis would have been on goal. Terrific job by the defensive line from Viewmont. And the ball's back and sent in by Jay Jones to Gomes, who tries to get head on it. That's sort of dangerous. Haley Johnson is very, very astutely recovers and send this back towards midfield. Jones is playing defense, but she had a goal from distance yesterday. It was about a 25-yard shot from the left-hand side, and it caught the upper 90 right-hand side. So having Caitlin Palmer heads it out of bounds, and that ball never came in, so that's going to be a throw-in for Viewmont on the other side. And Brighton coaches are wondering why. Viewmont will get a throw in right in front of their bench. This is Laura Wilcox. Wilcox is a junior midfielder. It looks like Viewmont is going to bring in a sub here in a moment. Loomis with the ball. Step out by Wilcox to send that back into midfield, and Viewmont retains possession. There's a foul committed by Jones. Or by Libby Dearden, and so it'll go Viewmont's way. Stepping up to take the free kick is Montana Tanner. Senior defender. This defensive line is very, very experienced. There's a service into the mixer. Ball's loose. Anybody can get on it. And it's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick. And Tamron Braun will send this one back up to midfield. Green jersey, the 00. Coming into the game, Courtney Hansen. Coming out of the game, Sarah Harper, the defensive substitution. Like I said, they're both very, very experienced. Both are seniors. And Hansen goes out there in the left wing defensively. Getting a first touch there, sends it up the line. Back to Bree Ruckert, who sends it up to Loomis. Loomis has some options. Step over once, twice. Attack there by Jana Wall. And that ball's out of bounds. And no, the ball stays in bounds. Steph Ringwood hands it over to Sydney Myers. Myers with a couple touches. Creates some space for herself. And sends it wing to Jay Jones. Jones. Step over right side, gets space. Sends it into the box. There's a backside run, Steph Ringwood. And Haley Johnson, terrific job coming up off her line. Great step by her, seeing the play before it happened, anticipating and cutting that pass off. Like I said, I spoke with the Viewmont coach. Spoke to the Viewmont coach before the game began. Had an opportunity to speak with her and about her defense and some of the impact players that might go the other way. And here's who Viewmont Vikings head coach Emily Tate identified as some of her impact players on the field.
Players offensively that you hope to see tonight?
Carrie P does a fantastic job for us up top. She's one of those players that just gives 100% all the time and creates a lot of havoc for defenders, especially going forward. She's very good off the dribble. Another player that we have is Abby Flandro. She plays in the midfield for us, but is really the central player that we have, our playmaker, somebody that controls the entire game and dictates how our offense is going to work. So I'd say those two we're looking to have big games today as well. And again, you know, Caitlin Palmer obviously has done a fantastic job for us this year. She moved from a defender last year for us to playing up top and has just done a great job.
Some of the offensive standouts here in a little while. We'll address that defensive backline that's done very well so far, cutting up any sort of offensive game that Brighton might have had. It's coming up here in a little bit. Loomis creates some space. She'll put that out in the wing. So Bree Ruckert. Ruckert up the wing. Nice little step. Great little toe poke to create some space, and there she goes. It's Angie Tim. Tim puts it in the middle and easily cut away there by Viewmont. Nice little head down into space. And that's a turnover in the offensive side of the field. Great little step over. Might have an opportunity on goal here. Might have an opportunity. Sydney Myers was in the box with an opportunity. Very well done by the defense to cut that off. Shot from distance, Jade Jones, easily saved by Haley Johnson. We're in the 24th minute of play. Still scoreless in this high school championship match between Brighton and Viewmont. Landon Hemsley, DeseretNews.com web sports producer, here with you this evening from Rio Tinto Stadium, and happy to be here with you. Minamura, let's check back into this game. So Madison Minamura plays normally in an offensive role or a midfield role. Nadia Gomes on the ball for Brighton. Gomes, step over once, step over twice. She's still got possession. Trying to make a run. Can't do much. And sends it out to Jones. Now forward. Steph Ringwood trying to poke it through. Ball's loose. Viewmont trying to clear it away. Loomis with a high kick, and that's going to be ruled as a dangerous kick by the official, and it's going to go the other way. Viewmont free kick. Loomis. And very well cut out there by Viewmont, but they're going to say it's a foul called. They're going to say that Jessica James, the senior midfielder coming back to help, got a bit too much of Loomis, and they're going to give him a free. They're going to give Brighton a free kick in a dangerous area, probably about 30 yards from goal. And who's going to take this free kick for Brighton, for the Bengals? Loomis comes up to the line. So just to remind Viewmont, hey, you know, it's 10 yards. It's supposed to be 10 yards clear. And Loomis is standing in that line along with a few Viewmont players, hoping to space this out a little bit. Sydney Myers looking for a play. She'll send it into the mixer. Nobody's there. And the goalkeeper, Haley Johnson, steps up, makes the catch. It could have been dangerous. There was almost a header on that from the defense. Fortunately, it didn't hit anybody because Johnson was off her line, and so any random deflection to a weird space would have proven costly for Viewmont, but they escape. And foul against Brighton. Referee's done a pretty good job of making sure that this match is elegantly played and doesn't turn into a slugfest, which is nice. And the ball for Viewmont. Montana Tanner, I believe. It's difficult to see that number all the way out there, but I believe it's Montana Tanner. There's the ball into the zone. Headed away, headed back in. Still in an area. There's a shot, and it goes right over the goal and into the stands. So it'll be a goal kick here. Nadia Gomes coming out. Let's take an opportunity. You know, I spoke with Coach Mark Stoker. This is the first time Gomes has come out of the game. I spoke with Mark Stoker before the game. You know, just what sort of impact a player like Nadia Gomes scored a hat trick in the semifinal match against Fremont. What sort of impact she has on the game, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, when she came back from Portugal and joined us back, it's definitely a spark to our team. You can obviously see everybody's noticed that she's a phenomenal talent, and you can't disregard that. She definitely helps us, and she's an extremely unselfish player. As much as she finishes for us, she gets everybody involved.
That's exactly what you want to see out of a lead striker, center forward. This kind of player Nadia Gomes has been for the Brighton Bengals in this playoffs. We'll see if she's able to get on the score sheet. There might be an opportunity for Brighton. A little bit more later on about Nadia Gomes and her experience in Portugal. What that means to the team and what that means to her as a player. Great little step over and pass forward and out of bounds. It'll be a Viewmont free kick. Great little play there by Caitlin Palmer. Ball's in, tipped back into space. Carrie Peed hits the deck, and ball's still loose. Peed up top, now for Viewmont. Viewmont is playing 3 solid defenders on their back line with a, as you can call it, a stopper. Somebody who never goes forward and always stays back. Raquel Kellogg for the Bengals. They have something of a diamond shape in their midfield as well, Viewmont. The ball's headed up, and Loomis is going to have a play on this one. She maintains possession, then loses it. And Montana Tanner boots that one out of bounds to the first row. It'll be a Brighton kick. Gomes coming back into the game. Nadia Gomes coming back into the game as well. Sydney Myers for Brighton. For Viewmont, Sarah Harper and Elie Layton. Coming out for Viewmont, Carrie Peed. He's going to get a spell. And Courtney Hansen. This pitch is much larger, probably, than any other pitch these teams have played on all year. It's a little bit. It's longer, and it's also wider. Makes for a lot of space out there, which, depending on the player, is appreciated. Usually, it's easier to move the ball when there's a lot of space, but doesn't make as well for some very, very tired players. That ball's loose. Sydney Myers has the ball, puts it out for Jade Jones. Jones, another little step over, allows the defender to overrun. Give and go, back to Jones. Great little play from Myers to Jones. Back to Myers. Myers looking for some air. She goes down. The ball was touched. It's no foul. And that's put back in by Jahan Bani. Cami Jahan Bani there trying to salvage something. Great defensive play, great tackle. It was not a foul. It was a clean play. Defender got the ball. It goes the other way, but great build-up. Now we're starting to see some real offensive build-up from these teams here, which is just so much fun to watch. Jahan Bani forward to Gomes, and that's cut out. So we're in the 31st minute here of the match. Presently, score still tied at a 0-0 draw. Neither team has really had an unbelievable opportunity, though Brighton and Viewmont have both had their fair share of shots at goal and maybe opportunity to create something here and there. We just watched a beautiful sequence from Brighton, unable to convert. Smart decision there by Bree Rooker, just putting that out of bounds, stopping the play. Now we're going to have some substitutions coming in for Brighton. Steph Ringwood and Jocelyn Loomis. Coming out of the game for Brighton is Becky Fuller. and Ashley Christensen. Into the game is McKenna Kimber for Viewmont, and coming out of the game is Jessica James, one of the starters on this team for Viewmont. Ball's deep in Brighton territory. Steph Ringwood, great little move there. Nadia Gomes is up top. Can't retain possession, and so Viewmont tries to put it back in. That one goes down the line. It'll be a throw-in for Viewmont. Bree Ruckert out there on the far side, getting ready to throw this in. We're in the 33rd minute, 7 minutes and 45 seconds remaining until half. If you're just joining us, I'm glad you're with me here on DesertNews.com and KSL.com. Your home for everything high school sports, really, in the state of Utah. We take a lot of pride in making sure that our high school athletes here in the state of Utah get the recognition they deserve. Caitlin Palmer with a couple of moves right there, and Brighton defense bends but doesn't break. Able to get that back out towards midfield. Great defensive step there by Caitlin Mortensen for the Bengals. Now out to Bree Ruckert, the right back, tries to send it forward to Nadia Gomes. Gomes with a touch. Unable to retain possession. She puts it back, and that'll be a Viewmont throw-in. Gomes was the first one to get to the ball. Coach is directing the Brighton players to step up a little bit. That's Jade Jones right there at the back, along with Mikkel Kellogg, the tall center back for Brighton. Wearing the orange little headband there in her hair this evening. Madison Minimura, unable to do much of anything with it, and the ball goes out of bounds. Still a scoreless draw. We're in the 34th minute. Nice little step forward to Minimura. Step back, step forward, touch. Trying to retain possession. Abby Flandro does a good job. Back, very long shot, and it's nowhere near the goal, and that'll go for a goal kick. Pardon me. Excuse me. Coming back, Carrie Peed for the Vikings. Coming out is Bailey World, I believe, number 28. No, Celie Layton. Peed is a junior forward. As we heard earlier from Coach Emily Tate, one of the offensive leaders in that ball. A good idea. Fortunately, unable to maintain possession. Flandro. Step into space. And easily cut out there by Mikkel Kellogg. She'll dribble to the sideline and pass it up. Cindy Myers couldn't retain possession. Loomis does. Loomis has got a great touch with her feet. She's very, very good at putting the ball where it needs to go, and she gets it up to Cindy Myers in the corner. Myers, under pressure, allows that ball to be just kicked out from underneath and go for a throw-in. The Brighton offense will reset here in the offensive third of Viewmont Vikings. We have less than 5 minutes remaining in this first half of the UHSAA 5A State Championship for girls soccer. Nice little step over again for Sydney Myers. Cross over there. There's nobody on the back end. A little too far for Nadia Gomes. She was waiting a little too much, and that one was left wanting. So Haley Johnson, the senior goalkeeper, put this one in. Johnson sends this forward. Nice little headed on there. Up to Carrie Peed. Peed tries to do something with it, and that one's going to go for Brighton, much to the chagrin of Peed, who thought that went off of Brighton instead of Viewmont. Madison Minimura trying to go forward up to Peed, can't do it. Brighton cuts it out. That's Sydney Myers. Myers back to Kellogg, under pressure from Peed. Ooh, dangerous late tackle, but no harm, no foul. Loomis to Myers on the wing. Up to Gomes. Gomes can do something. Gomes gets a toe on it. That ball is squirted out of bounds by Jana Wall. Jahan Bani to Myers. Touches it back to Jahan Bani. Over to Loomis. Loomis back to Jay Jones. Nice little step over juke. Forward to Jahan Bani. Here comes a cross maybe. In goes the ball. Nadia Gomes is there and goes out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick. Gomes was there. And Sydney Myers coming back from this play wondering whether or not there should have been a foul called, making appeals to the referee, and there's not going to be anything. Just about to enter the 38th minute of play. 40-minute halves here, so there's less than 3 minutes remaining. Myers with that head. And Abby Flandreau came back trying to put a little bit of pressure on Myers, and Viewmont suddenly going the other way. Gomes. And it's pretty obvious that Viewmont is keying on Gomes a lot. They don't want to let her be the one to determine the result of this game. 2.5 minutes remaining, and Laura Wilcox goes down hard, and that's Sydney Myers. She's already, oh no, that was Jana Wall who had a talking to previously, and she thinks it's, well, let's say she obviously disagrees with what the official has to say to her. She came in and made a challenge on that ball, and Wilcox went down in a heap. Approaching the 39th minute, 2 minutes remaining in this match, or in the first half of this match, rather. Nice header back up to Loomis. Loomis looking for Gomes. Ahead to Gomes. Gomes in stride. Gomes with a touch. Gomes with 2-3. Out to the corner. Puts it back at the 18, and nobody's there. Loomis is there. There's the shot, and the touch save! Touch save by Haley Johnson! My goodness, what a save by Haley Johnson. I think that one had eyes for the upper 90. Great touch by Johnson, just getting a fingertip to it enough to poke it over the bar. That coming in the 38th minute of play. There's a corner kick for Brighton. And here goes the ball. It's going to be played back out to Gomes. Gomes will reach this, or should. She doesn't, and just squirted out of bounds there by Caitlin Palmer. What a save by Haley Johnson. Just had an opportunity to watch it on the stream that we're broadcasting right now. It was really quite the save. Very expertly done by Johnson. We have less than 30 seconds. We're in the 40th minute. The ball is going to go in. A goal now for either team would certainly be disastrous for the one who allowed it. Ball goes back in the mixer. Nadia Gomes. 16 seconds left. Shot, and it's over the goal. And that will pretty much do the first half up here. And that's the end of the first half. So the end of the first half of this state championship match between Brighton and Viewmont. The score is 0-0. I'm Landon Hemsley, DesertNews.com, web sports producer. Happy you're here with me, and I hope you've been enjoying this match so far. It's been a very, very entertaining one. Lots of swings back and forth, a couple of chances here and there. But nothing so far in terms of scoring. So I recommend you take an opportunity now, if you're watching this at home, to get up, grab a snack, use the bathroom, sort of refuel yourself, and get ready for the second half, because in about 10 minutes we're going to be back here for the second half of this 5A State Championship Girls Soccer match between Viewmont and Brighton. Until then, I'm Landon Hemsley. We'll catch you in about 10 minutes. Welcome back to Rio Tinto Stadium here at the beginning of the second half of this match between Brighton and Viewmont for the 2013 5A Girls Soccer State Championship. Landon Hemsley, DesertNews.com, web sports producer. Pleased to be with you here this evening from Rio Tinto Stadium, the home of Real Salt Lake. And we've got a pretty solid match all the way around between these Brighton Bengals and the Viewmont Vikings. Of course, after the first half, scoreless draw. That doesn't mean that we didn't have a little bit of offensive fireworks in the first half. If you're just joining us here for the second half, I'm going to list some time codes. Of course, with this YouTube system that we have, it allows you to go back and watch instant replay. So I'm going to give you some time codes here of some of the plays that I thought were the better ones in the first half. At about the 13-minute mark of our recording so far, Caitlin Palmer, who scored a goal in Tuesday's game against Lone Peak, had a shot just 3 minutes into the match that was high and wide, but it was still, nonetheless, a very dangerous opportunity for Viewmont. At the 32-minute mark, 32 minutes straight up, Sydney Myers for Brighton had a very, very long run into the box. It culminated in a Viewmont defensive stop, happened in the 24th minute of the match. In the 40th minute of the recording, 40 minutes straight up, there was a terrific give and go between Jocelyn Loomis and Jay Jones that led to a very good offensive opportunity for Brighton. At the 48-minute and 20 seconds mark, Jocelyn Loomis had a shot, and Haley Johnson had a terrific save, which I would say is definitely the highlight of the first half. If there's any of these that I'm talking about, you should watch. You should go back and watch that. It's 48-minute and 20 seconds mark, the first half. We'll be right back here when you get back. And then 49 minutes, 50 seconds, right before the end of the half, in the 40th minute, Nadia Gomes had a shot high, but it still was a great offensive opportunity. So as you see it now, Brighton in the blue and white, moving left to right. Viewmont in the all-white with red numbers, red trim, going right to left. And I promised right before the half that we would come back to what Coach Emily Tate of Viewmont had to say about her team. That in just a second. I thought Nadia Gomes might have had an offensive opportunity. Here's what Emily Tate had to say about her defensive line, some of these players on the defense, and how important they are for this team.
Our defensive line is awesome. In goal we have Haley Johnson, senior goalkeeper that has just blossomed this year and kept us in games and make big saves every day for every single game that we've.
Nadia Gomes off the crossbar. Save Haley Johnson. Oh my goodness gracious. Pardon me, we'll get back to that in a minute, Coach. Wow, Nadia Gomes with the first real opportunity of the game for her so far. That one was just about as good as it gets. Nadia Gomes with the first real opportunity of the match. Viewmont appealing for a handball, and they're going to get it. Always take a risk when you play those recordings that maybe something big will happen, and it did there. Nadia Gomes with a nice little step move in the box, create space, took a shot, and it was off the bar. So we're still 0-0 here. Haley Johnson able to swallow it up again. That coming in the 42nd minute. Play that Gomes opportunity. Now Viewmont with a chance of their own, and Brighton snuffs that out. Let's go back to what the coach had to say, and I'm just going to start the clip over because of what happened. I don't think we were really focused. By the way, Brighton has made a substitution. Megan Turner, the sophomore goalkeeper, is now in for the second half. Anyways, here's what Coach Emily Tate had to say about her defensive line.
Our defensive line is awesome. In goal we have Haley Johnson, a senior goalkeeper that has just blossomed this year and kept us in games and make big saves every day, or every single game that we've played. Our two center backs, Gianna Wall and Montana Tanner, again, are just both very, very good players. They work very well off each other, communicate well, and help to keep our defense with good shape and good communication, and trying to, do a good job of preventing easy chances and things like that. So I'd say those three obviously are the central core of our defense. Our outside backs do a good job as well. We have a couple of those girls that come in. Sarah Harper does a great job for us. She's one of those players that tackles very strong. And then on the other side, we've got Laura Wilcox starting right now, who does a great job getting forward for us and creating offensive pressure from a back, from an outside back. So, again, those are our back line right now, and we have some players that come in off the bench that do a great job as well for us, and they need a break.
Just getting to know the Viewmont defensive line, who've seen in action plenty this evening, highlighting some of the leaders on this defense, senior defender Sarah Harper and the like. Flandreau trying to go through, couldn't quite get it done. Viewmont has a chance, or Brighton has a chance. Gomes chasing it down. Can't get to it. It'll be a throw-in for Brighton on the far side. Gomes by far has had the best chance of anyone in this match so far, firing that shot off in the 42nd minute off the crossbar. Ball's loose. Viewmont's going to sweep this away. Terry Peed. Peed looking for someone, and nobody's there. The goalkeeper comes back to make the stop. Abby Flandreau, the offensive weapon for Viewmont, sends it forward towards Carrie Peed, but Mikel Kellogg, the mainstay back there for Brighton, able to handle it. Last time these two played, Brighton won 4-1. I shouldn't say it's not necessarily surprising that we haven't had any goals this match so far. Brighton didn't have any goals in their semifinal match against Fremont until the second half, and then exploded. They had 5 goals in like 17 minutes. It was nuts. I almost lost my mind. And there is actual video evidence of that if you want to go back and look at it. Steph Ringwood up to Loomis. Jocelyn Loomis looking for Gomes. Sends it forward. Gomes is faster. She might get there. Gomes. Jenna Wall hits the deck. There's a shot. And a goal! No, they're going to call it off. They are going to call that one off. They're going to call a foul on Nadia Gomes, saying she tackled Jana Wall from behind, and it's still 0-0. The Portuguese international called for the foul on the scoring play, and the Brighton fans are not happy about that one. You've seen Gomes knocking at the door a couple times this half. Came in the 46th minute. Gomes' opportunity, and Loomis jukes someone, goes down. Gomes is on side if she can make it, and Jana Wall does a good job of screening Gomes off. Jana Wall has had to work really, really hard on Nadia Gomes, and Gomes almost has gotten the better of her. It would be 1-0 if it weren't for that foul. Great chance for Brighton. And there's a foul called on Viewmont. It's going to go the other way. I don't think, given Brighton's offensive production in these playoffs, that they can afford to go down. Best case scenario for Viewmont is they either hold this scoreless draw and force overtime, or they just sneak one in and pack all 11 players behind the ball. Great little play there by Loomis. And Caitlin Mortensen, Loomis with the cross into Gomes. Wall with the header. Still not clear. Gomes had a real chance there again. Very dangerous moment, and the chances just keep on coming. That's a nervy header. It's a nervy header. If you're Viewmont, you don't want to give Gomes too many chances. Here's Madison Minamura going the other way, and Jade Jones steps up. Viewmont substitution. Coming into the game, Courtney Hansen and Ellie Layton coming out. Laura Wilcox here on the outside, and Carrie Peed coming off as well. We're going to make Viewmont throw this one in again. Throw in, step back, and goes out of bounds. Viewmont fans chanting, trying to urge their girls on. We're in the 49th minute of play here. It's a 80-minute match. It's not a 90-minute match in high school girls soccer. It's just 80 minutes, 40-minute halves. We're now in the 9th minute of the second half. Great little step through. And Caitlin Mortensen can't quite handle it. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. Haley Johnson has definitely had her work cut out for her tonight. She's stepped up and done a great job and gotten a little bit of help from the goalkeeper's best friend, the woodwork. Very glad you're here. Hope you'll stay with us for this match, but if soccer doesn't happen to be your fancy, I encourage you to check out some of the other things we've got going on DesertNews.com tonight. Got our BYU live blog. I understand the last time I checked, BYU was winning that game. Not sure of the score right now. We've also got our Game Night Live Game of the Week tonight. Morgan at Judge Memorial down in Draper. It's a big 3A game being played down there. Or excuse me, I was thinking Juan Diego. I'm not entirely sure where Judge Memorial is, but it's nearby. Flandreau. And that good job by Ringwood to cut that pass out. Viewmont retains possession. Ball's flicked over to the left wing. Nice little header there. The ball goes out of bounds off Steph Ringwood, and it'll be a throw in here. Excellent pressure by Sarah Harper. She's going to come out of the game now for McKenna Brown. And Flandreau's going to come out of the game for, or no, Flandreau's going to come out of the game for a little bit for McKenna Brown. Harper's going to throw this ball in. Ooh, there's a foul called against Viewmont. Jessica James with the infraction. Ball immediately up to Gomes. Gomes gets behind the defense. Gomes, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, shielded away. Ball's in the area and cleared out. Up to Minamura. Kellogg with the step. Heads it back into the mixer. Ball clear again, and Viewmont retains possession. Caitlin Mortensen. She's got Loomis at her right. She's got Nadia Gomes in the box. Touches to Loomis. Loomis. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4. And Loomis has earned a corner. We're 12 minutes into the second half. In the 52nd minute. See Brighton able to put things a little bit together here. They've definitely had the better chances in the second half. Haley Johnson, the Viewmont keeper, has come up. She's equal to the task. Now we've got a corner kick from Brighton. In comes the ball. Johnson drops it, and they're going to call a foul. She went up strong. And Johnson having words. A little bit frustrated. A little bit frustrated with that Brighton forward. Bree Rookert, actually a defender, coming up and trying to get involved. Haley Johnson not happy with her. Her teammates telling her to settle down. This is the one player that you do not want to come unsettled, unhinged. The state championship game is the senior goalkeeper, Haley Johnson. Headed down into space. Viewmont retains possession. Ball goes outside. Viewmont puts it forward. Nobody's there. It'll go to bounce for Brighton throw in on the far side, about 20 yards off the center stripe. Gomes. Great touch to Loomis. Loomis retains possession. Looking far. Loomis can't quite get it there. McKenna Brown looking to go the other way. Ball's lost. Great little touch by Loomis over the top. And that ball back to the defensive line and just cleared away. Steph Ringwood for Brighton. Now ball's in the air. Oh! Big hit there by Libby Dearden. Actually, they're going to say that Viewmont was the one that was fouled. Viewmont's number 13, McKenna Kimber, the forward who ran into Libby Dearden there near midfield. And she's the one called for the foul, even though she hit the deck. A little bit of bad luck there if you're Viewmont. Madison Minamura, nice little step over. She's got someone in space. Another great pass, and that one a little too strong. Back to the defensive line, and they'll pass that forward to Steph Ringwood. Can't quite get there. Jana Hall comes up. She's fouled by Nadia Gomes, and they're going to stop play. Nadia Gomes credited with that foul, and she'll just kick it over the goalkeeper. That is definitely a quality of European soccer. When you get the foul call, you don't give it back to the other team. Just kick it away. It's a little bit of a attitude thing. Sending over the ball for Viewmont. So Lee Layton puts it forward. Nice little touch there by Flandreau. Ooh, and that one is going to be a stiff challenge. Bree Rookert is going to get a yellow card. She's going to have to leave the match. Here in the 55th minute. Bree Rookert gets disciplined in the 55th minute. There's the long shot, high and wide. Ball goes forward. Carrie Peed is there, and that one's swept away by Kellogg. Back into the mixer, back to Peed. Peed can't keep it. Jay Jones, nice little step there to get around Carrie Peed, and now it's up forward. There's a maturity and a presence that all these Brighton players seem to have. They're very good at possessing the ball, very good at making little 1-2 step motions to get around these Brighton players. They're also very good at looking into space. I would say if there's a weakness, it's just that area of touch. And that touch comes with time, it comes with maturity, it comes with a lot of games and a lot of practice. We've updated the box score now on DeseretNews.com to show that yellow card. Caution issued to Bree Rookert. The 55th minute of play. Nice little move there by Loomis, trying to get around. She can't keep it in bounds. It'll go out for a throw-in. Officials called a pretty fair game tonight. I would say it was a pretty hard challenge. Didn't get the ball. Took down the player. It was earned. Flandreau trying to get it up the wing. That ball's still in bounds. Mikkel Kellogg's on her horse. She'll just sweep that one right out. So Viewmont throw in about midway up the Brighton end of the field. Still 0-0 draw. We're 15 minutes into the second half. Somebody's going to have to score to win this championship. See who it is and when. So far, Brighton has had the better of the opportunities, and all of them really coming here in the second half. Palmer for Viewmont. Caitlin Palmer scored a goal in Tuesday night's game against Lone Peak. Has had the best opportunity, and that came 3 minutes in. Ever since then, Brighton's done a very good job defensively, keeping Viewmont out of dangerous areas. Brighton has done very well combining, putting the ball into space, giving the players an opportunity, a lane to run, and Viewmont has done very well to just break everything up and get it back forward. Sarah Harper to throw in this ball. We're in the 28th minute of the second half, so that'd be 58th minute, or the 18th minute of the second half, I'm sorry, so it'd be 58th minute. Harper will throw this one in again. And these girls have got to be so tired. Nice little overhead kick, trying to get Loomis on the run. Loomis is in. Johnson goes down. Loomis goes in with her cleat into Haley Johnson. Johnson just gets up. It was a fair challenge on the ball. And the officials, no discipline. Could have been dangerous. Could have hurt. She's onside. Touched just a little too hard, and the Brighton goalkeeper there to settle things down. On the roster that I have that was provided by UHSAA has two number zeros. Of course, one of them is 00, but I don't know which one. So I know the Brighton goalkeepers, either Tamron Brown or Megan Turner. I assume they start with their senior. They made a substitution, so I'm assuming that's Megan Turner back there on the back line. If I'm wrong, I apologize profusely. That ball kept in bounds. It's a great hustle play. Into the box. Loomis is there. Nobody's there to step up. And good job by Haley Johnson. Or excuse me, McKenna Brown. The midfielder stepping back to clean that one up and just put it out of bounds. Coming into the game for Brighton, Bree Ruckert is checking back in. Coming out of the game, Bree Ruckert went up to take that throw in. Madison Minamura has come out of the game for Viewmont. Nadia Gomes in the box. Loomis has an opportunity, turns around, takes a shot. Nothing there. The ball's out, and it's cleared away. And now it's going forward. Carrie Pete has won the ball. She's in Brighton's half. She waits for her offense to catch up to her. Steps to Flandreau. Flandreau, round one, round two, round three. Flandreau on the run. Takes the shot. Way too far away, and she knows it. She knows that was just way too far away from goal. This ball is going to be served in. It's Mia Mazer. Mia Mazer is checked into the game. Back to Steph Ringwood. Ringwood trips on the turf, and Sarah Harper recovers. Harper up to the midfield. Gomes is applying pressure. Mazer has it. Now back to the midfield. Good job by Flandreau coming back, applying pressure. Sydney Myers now trying to get around the defense. She's got two, she's got three, and there's a foul. Foul committed. Foul committed. About 23 yards out. That foul committed by Jessica James, the midfielder, on Sydney Myers. So Viewmont will have a chance here. Brighton, pardon me. Jay Jones standing over this ball. The wall is up. Haley Johnson center. Shot, and the wall did its job. Second shot. In. Save Johnson! Haley Johnson was the save, but I think she's hurt. Haley Johnson makes the save, but she has a shoulder injury. Haley Johnson's made the save. Grimacing in pain here. See whether she's deemed, and they're going to bring in a substitute. That's a huge loss for Viewmont. If Johnson can't continue, that's a huge loss for Viewmont. Came in the 61st minute of play there, that opportunity for Brighton, and they're going to stop the clock at 18:45 remaining in the half. That's what you do during injury time as the Viewmont trainers come out and take a look at Haley Johnson's shoulder. Great diving save by Haley Johnson. Probably just came down on that shoulder awkwardly. Hopefully she's going to be able to continue. Would hate to see the senior goalkeeper's high school career end like that. That would be tragic. Brighton has done a very, very, very good job defensively, stymieing Viewmont in all their opportunities. The backup goalkeeper for Viewmont is Rachel Pitt. She is a junior. But of course, Haley Johnson, the starter all season long, done an excellent job. Numerous shutouts. Hate to lose somebody at this point, but at this point, Rachel Pitt is getting ready to come into the game for Haley Johnson. But let's focus on Brighton a little bit here defensively. For the game, I spoke with Coach Mark Stoker about his defense, and here's what he had to say about his players.
Yeah, absolutely. We believe the defense is 11 players on the field, all playing defense, high aggressiveness. We have very strong players in the back that are physical. They dominate in the air, and it's really been a strong suit for us going through the tournament.
Indeed it has. Viewmont has not had a whole lot of opportunities. Viewmont has not had a whole lot of opportunities offensively here. Their lone opportunity that I've been able to identify and note was in the 3rd minute of this game, and if you want to go back and look at it, you can. It's at the time code 13-minute mark of this recording. Just while you're waiting to see what happens here, you can go back and look at that. 13 minutes in, Caitlin Palmer, who scored a goal against Lone Peak in the last game, had an opportunity and put it high and put it wide. Some other scores from around the state tonight. Of course, you can check out all the scores on DeseretNews.com. Duchesne is ahead of Altamont in football, 21 to 6 at the half. Parowan is ahead of Layton Christian, or defeated Layton Christian. South Sevier in a double overtime game beat Miller 27 to 26. And yes, it looks like Haley Johnson is going to come out of this game injuring that left shoulder. Coming into the game for her is Rachel Pitt. Some of the other games from 5A. Layton Layton is ahead of Northridge at halftime. Syracuse is ahead of Fremont at halftime, 33 to 7. Layton's ahead of Northridge 14 to 7. Cottonwood is beating Hillcrest 28 to 0 at the half. West and Taylorsville tied at 7 at the half. Highland and Bountiful, Region 6, 4A ball, 7 to 3. Hunter is behind Granger, trailing Granger 21 to 20. There were a lot of 5A games last night, and everybody, of course, getting ready for the 5A state championships. We'll have those games streamed live here on DeseretNews.com as well, so don't worry. It'll be one awesome time. Sydney Myers moving forward. Looks out left to her defender, Jade Jones. Comes up. Jade Jones wins. Sends it across. Doesn't test Pitt at all. So just less than a minute ago in terms of clock time. Goalkeeper Haley Johnson coming off. Johnson's had a look, and she's going to come back on the pitch. So Pitt's time and the goal is over. The Viewmont faithful stand up and cheer for the senior, who, despite her injury, is coming back to play goalkeeper. We'll have to see if that injury affects her down the line. Maybe she can just play through it, and maybe it won't mean much. But if she has to make another diving save like that, who can say? She's still obviously in pain. She's still obviously hurting. She doesn't want to come out of this game. This is her last high school game as a member of this team. She does not want to stop now. Flandro, poked away by Ringwood. Now to Gomes. Dangerous goal scorer. Gomes. Harper tries to head her off at the pass. Gomes again, trying to get to Mazer. Gomes taken down just outside the box. They're going to call a foul just outside the box. They are not going to award a penalty, but they do award a foul just outside the box. Another dangerous opportunity for Brighton. And Haley Johnson, who's grasping that left shoulder of hers, may be forced into an uncomfortable save, to say the least. Standing over the ball here for Brighton, Jay Jones and Sydney Myers. Still scoreless. We're 24 minutes into the second half. We're only got 16 minutes remaining. We're in the 64th minute. There's a shot, and a goal! Sydney Myers scores from the set piece! She beat Haley Johnson! Sydney Myers scores on the set piece and beats the wall, goes upper 90 on Haley Johnson! Brighton 1! Brighton 1! Brighton 1! Viewmont 0! Goal! That goal coming in the 64th minute. Now we'll start it off again. Viewmont in a 1-0 hole. After that set-piece goal, what a brilliant strike by Sydney Myers. Just outside the penalty area. Could not have been more beautiful. Excellent strike. And Brighton's threatening again. Step over by Loomis. Gomes can't get there. We're wondering, maybe that injury affected Johnson. Though that wasn't her left shoulder, really, that was trying to make that save. She was trying to go up with the right hand. She just got beat. Nice little step by Flandro. And Mikhail Kellogg just steps that out. Nothing to do with it. Viewmont with an opportunity, perhaps. No, Steph Ringwood steps it out, clears it away. I've updated the scoreboard on DesertNews.com. Invite you to check that out. Sydney Myers given credit for her goal. And a spectacular goal it was. Upper 90, far side. Got the time code here if you want to go back and look at it. It's 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 30 seconds on this video. You can go back and check out the instant replay. Now Brighton doesn't have to score anymore in order to get their state championship, but Viewmont is going to have to apply a lot more pressure. And Carrie Peed, a little frustrated by the Brighton defense. I don't want to, we've got to give credit where credit is due. I mean, Sydney Myers scored that goal. But if Nadia Gomes doesn't take that foul just outside the penalty area, Brighton doesn't score. I mean, every time, she had 3 goals on Tuesday and 3 assists. That's a clean It's a clean tackle there by Jenna Wall. Clean tackle by Wall. Every time that something good happens for Brighton, Gomes is involved. She's just a playmaker, whether it's drawing fouls, creating assists, another shot, and that one's from wide left. No threat for Johnson. Viewmont only has 13 minutes, 53 seconds remaining. We are in the 67th minute of play. The player is down. She's down and she's hurting. Coming out is Courtney Hansen, senior defender for Viewmont. Johnson is going to wobble over here to the sidelines. I'm not sure who the player is that's injured right now. And Brighton up 1-0. And Johnson's just asking for water. Viewmont is going to huddle up here near their own penalty area. Now, again, I'm not sure who this downed player is for Viewmont. It might be Carrie Peed, and if it is Carrie Peed, that's not good for Viewmont's offensive game. Training staff having a few words, though, with Haley Johnson. Kept a perfect sheet until the 64th minute. And the entire team is going to trot over here to the sideline. I'm trying to see if Carrie Peed is anywhere in this bunch, and it doesn't look like she is. And yeah, that's Carrie Peed they're going to help off. I didn't see what happened to her. Not sure if we got that on camera. But Carrie Peed's knee or ankle or something, it's not looking that good. Peed's going to come off. I would say, based on the way she's been walking, her night is done. Again, I didn't see what happened. I know that she had a little bit of a scuffle there with Libby Dearden, but I didn't see anything that would warrant that sort of injury. She just stepped awkwardly or something. I'm not entirely sure. Minamura has come in for Peed. Madison Minamura, senior forward. Johnson makes her way back to the goal. Again. Ball's up to McKenna Brown. Brown puts it outside, and that's Gomes is going to run onto that one. Brighton won't stop. They haven't stopped all year long. It's going to be up to Viewmont, see if they can level this match and get the ball at least into a dangerous position. They have really struggled offensively tonight. Defensively, they've been pretty good. A few shaky moments, but until now, it really didn't matter. Now it matters because now they have to go forward. I said it a while ago, if you're Viewmont, you do not want to let a goal through. There's a foul called against Viewmont there. Free kick for Brighton. A little bit of aggressive play there from Zoe Loftus, I believe it is. It's difficult to see the number from here, but I believe it's 15. Maybe it's not. Could be Tori Page. Ball's in the box. Ball's still free. A couple of Brighton players are there, and Viewmont able to sweep it out and away and up to Minamura. That ball by Minamura deflected right at the defense. Now Flandreau, who's the offensive mind, sort of the heart of this offense for Viewmont. If they're going to get this done, it's going to be here. Again, these two teams met earlier this season, and Brighton won 4-1. So don't know if they ever trailed in that game, but if they didn't, then it's safe to say that they will have played. If this result holds, they will have played 160 minutes of soccer without Viewmont ever leading, which is obviously got to be frustrating for a team looking for a state championship. Ball's into Jessica James. James back to the defense. Booted over to Flandreau, looking for someone on the back end. The player goes down. Flandreau appealing for a foul, no call given. And McKenna Brown hit the deck like she'd been shot, but no foul given again. Ball forward to Flandreau. Flandreau trying to just knot it on, and it goes out of bounds off of Libby Dearden's head. Up to head now. To Palmer. Caitlin Palmer looking for something. Sarah Harper going to throw this in. This is Zoe Loftus. Now back to Harper. Harper sends it in, trying to get it in the box at least. Viewmont pressuring. It's a shot from distance, blocked right at the source. Call for the defense to come up. Slide tackle, hard tackle by Jana Wall. And here comes Brighton. Jade Jones on the left side. She's the left defender, but she comes up and plays an offensive role quite frequently. Viewmont will throw it in. McKenna Kimber looking for something. Kimber up ahead, right into the defense, and Mikkel Kellogg is there, and Loomis, great control, great stop, and she's turned around and go the other way. And Gomes is offsides, so that will come back. Have you, the official's going to ask for time to be stopped, and going to give a discipline to Nadia Gomes here for that play for kicking the ball out of bounds and delay a game. Gomes' first yellow card of the evening, coming in the 70th minute of this match. The ball put back into play. Ball played wide. Jahan Bani into the box. Played well defensively, and Johnson scoops it up. Brighton, of course, on a hot streak. They've now scored 16 unanswered goals in the playoffs. Viewmont trying to get something done offensively, and right now they're just trying to get the ball out of their area. Jessica James trying to do something, now forward. McKenna Brown charging on the ball. It's going to go out for Brighton. Of course, Brighton in no hurry. They'll set up a very long formation here, take a substitution. Coming into the game for Brighton is Ashley Christensen coming out. Jahan Bani and Sydney Myers, who scored the goal for the Bengals. It looks like she may be done for the night. Getting a lot of hugs and love from her team inside. Christensen headers it forward. There's an opportunity there on goal. Becky Fuller in for Jahan Bani. Came to nothing. Thought Fuller was a little bit offside there, but perhaps not. Flag stays down. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be another Brighton throw-in. We're 8.5 minutes away from the end of this game. Viewmont, if they're going to build something, they got to build it now. Again, it's 1-0 coming into the game. Jahan Bani leading the game for Brighton is Jocelyn Loomis, it looks like. No, that's Caitlin Mortensen. So it's just a momentary substitution for Jahan Bani. She comes back into the game. You can hear the Brighton students with their chant. Loomis to boot on it, and that'll be a Viewmont throw-in. Viewmont appealing for a quick ball. And there's going to be a substitution here. Carrie Peed, who left the game injured about 20 minutes ago, or not 20, probably about 10 to 15 minutes ago, comes back in. She's able to run. She's doing okay. And coming out of the game is Sarah Harper. So this is a pure offensive substitution. Offense for defense. Viewmont pushing it forward, looking for something, anything. They need to build something. It's just been shoot it forward and hope for the best. In the goal the other night, there was a great through ball that led to Caitlin Palmer's goal. There's an opportunity for Brighton. Fuller, Becky Fuller, getting around. Ball's in the box, and that ball will be swept away by Ashley Christensen for Jessica James for Viewmont. Pardon me, Ashley Christensen plays for Brighton. Bree Rookert. Forward now to Raquel Watts, who's entered the game. Up to Loomis. Loomis to the baseline. Swings it in, and Haley Johnson steps up. Viewmont needs to move positively. We're in the 74th minute, 6.5 minutes remaining. 1-0 Brighton. Nice touch there. And that ball's going to go out of bounds. That was a bad touch there. Libby Dearden had that first touch, and the ball's kicked out of bounds. And so Viewmont has a chance. They're not dead yet. They only need one. Mina Mura tries to put it in the box. Mikkel Kellogg heads it away. Out to Dearden. And it's just methodical. Trying to get it up to Loomis. Mina Mura will throw it in again. Touch over. Flandro's there. Sets up Peed. Peed tries to get around the defense. Struggling. Can't do it. She went all in on that one. She was very, very close to being one-on-one on goal. And Loomis just boots us up the field. That's some positive motion, though, from Viewmont. Haven't seen too much of that tonight. Minamura will throw it in. Brighton recovers and tries to get it away. Viewmont up for the header, and Jana Wall is there for the Vikings. Sends it back in the defensive line. Becky Fuller charging and goes back up into the midfield before too much happens. Carrie Pete is there. We may have a chance. We may have a chance. There's a shot, and it's no trouble at all for Brighton's goalkeeper. Viewmont going the other way. This is Raquel Watts. Watts trying to get it forward to Fuller. Can't do it. Based on the substitution, I would say that Sydney Meyer's night is done. That ball over the head. Here's Fuller. She's fast. Johnson just boots that back up to midfield. Ashley Christensen is waiting there. It's in a scrum. Brighton appeals for a handball. The ball's still live. Chase it down. Mikkel Kellogg is back there, and she'll just boot it away. Not entirely, though. The ball comes off the head, and now it's booted away. Thought it was going to go out of bounds. I'm wrong. That's an offsides call. Becky Fuller was offsides, came from an offside position. Just field that ball. We're going to tell Montana Tanner to take a few steps back. Tanner will put this one forward as far as she can. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. Viewmont's coming down to desperation times. Kenna Brown can't do it. Jessica James. James puts it in the mixer. Everyone's crashing down. And it's over the line. McKenna Kimber. Brighton's only 3 minutes and 32 seconds away from a championship. Now for the home stretch. Here comes Caitlin Mortensen, Nadia Gomes, and Sydney Myers again. Coming out of the game, Ashley Christensen, Becky Fuller, and Cami Jahanbani. Ball headed back forward. Cleared away again by Jay Jones. Gomes is there. And Caitlin Mortensen chases it down. So Viewmont throw in. 2 minutes 52 seconds left. Start your stopwatches. We're coming down to crunch time. Kellogg applying pressure. Great little step move. Great move back to the defense, but Gomes can recover. Brown is there. Scrum for the ball. Brown comes away clear. It's forward. She's out of the goal. Step over. Peed with the shot, and it's wide. Too soft. Too soft for the goalkeeper. The ball's put back into play. Sydney Myers gets ahead on it. And here comes Christensen. Ashley Christensen going forward into Loomis. Loomis can't step to it. The defense recovers. Now going the other way. McKenna Brown. Vikings need something here. This is danger time. We're in the 79th minute. Final 2 minutes of play. Viking fighting for their lives, fighting for the life of this championship. That ball goes down into the zone. Jay Jones is there to recover for Brighton. Charging is Flandreau. Flandreau goes in hard. Jones just takes a step, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Brighton throw-in. 1 minute 36 remaining. Substitution for Brighton. Angie Tim coming in for Raquel Watts. And Jahan Bani again coming in for Caitlin Mortensen. Ball sent forward into Viewmont's hands. Bad touch, and now it's up to Gomes. Gomes settles. He's looking for a teammate. Sends it forward to Myers. Myers, a goal scorer. She doesn't make it there. The ball goes out of bounds. We're down to the final minute, 54 seconds. Does Viewmont have what it takes? They're calling a foul, so they're going to allow him to send it up forward. Viewmont needs to hustle. Jana Wall needs to send this one as far as she can, as quickly as she can. Speed. And now it's going the other way. Loomis. Gomes is offside. She's way offside. That's just a stall tactic. 27 seconds left. They're going to stop the clock. 26 seconds. Well, they put the ball back. Gomes didn't care at all. All she wanted to do was make sure clock stopped and gave Brighton a chance to reset the defense. She didn't care at all about that offsides. Great tactic there for stalling. Montana Tanner sends this one forward. And Sydney Myers comes charging in overhead. And Nadia Gomes, alone on the wing. 18 seconds left. I don't think Viewmont's going to recover. Gomes with the step. Wall has it. Gomes with another step, and she's going to head to the corner. Final 10 seconds. Ball's in the box. Sydney Myers is there. She doesn't need to score, but she could. She takes the shot. It's blocked. 1 second, and it's over! Brighton has won! Brighton has won! The champions of 5A soccer in the state of Utah for 2013 are the Brighton Bengals. Off a 55th minute goal from a set piece by Sydney Myers. Sydney Myers scores the winner that gives the Brighton Bengals their championship. Congratulations to Brighton High School and their fans. And a terrific, terrific job and a terrific effort through pain. Look over, I don't know if you can see it on the camera right now, but Carrie Pete is being helped over to the sideline. She is in pain and agony, as is Haley Johnson, the goalkeeper, with that shoulder injury. Pete is on the ground. They've given everything they had, and they deserve to be recognized for their effort. A terrific effort by the Viewmont Vikings, getting to the state championship, getting to this level, trying to take on Brighton. They earned their trip here. Brighton's championship in no way minimizes what Brighton or what Viewmont has done. But congratulations to the Brighton Bengals, state champions and unscored in the entire playoffs. Nobody managed to get a goal on them. 16-0. And this by far was the closest game of any that Brighton played in these playoffs. 16-0, and only one of them in this one. Terrific effort all the way around by the Brighton Bengals. Great connection, great passing. And in the end, it turned out to be a set piece and a solid strike, a golden strike from Sydney Myers that earns these Bengals the state championship this year. And if you want to go back and watch that play, I encourage you to. It happened at the... Let me look here. Happened in the 55th minute. Oh, correction, it happened in the 64th minute. I apologize. The time code on the video, if you want to go back and look at that highlight, 1 hour, 33 minutes, 30 seconds. Encourage you to do that. Without a doubt, this is a very happy moment for Brighton. You know, this is what it's this is what it's all about for these players. An opportunity to get here and a chance to win. They played so long and so hard on this massive field for their level. In the end, it was an absolutely gorgeous strike from Myers. Again, 1 hour, 33 minutes, 30 seconds. That's where that goal occurred. And they've got their trophy. For Brighton, a moment without words. Pure joy and celebration. Viewmont, the second place trophy. A lot of pride, a lot of heart, and an opportunity to come back next year and hopefully get revenge on these Bengals. I think that's where we're going to leave it tonight. Thank you very much again for joining us here on DesertNews.com and KSL.com. We still got other football games going on. Switch on over to the high school Game Night Live Game of the Week here on DesertNews.com, KSL.com. Saying farewell from Rio Tinto Stadium, and very proud and happy to have been with you this evening, this afternoon. I'm Landon Hemsley, DesertNews.com web sports producer, saying good evening and good night.